when we refer to the ananaceous tree, that it has the carcinogens that attack the tumour cells. I'm in Wikipedia, and if you look here with me as I come through on this section here about what Wikipedia says to it, you can see that it says that it causes death to the infected somatic or tumour cell, and that's what the carcinogens in the ananaceous tree do 1,000 times better than chemotherapy. Now, if you want to know what benefits you can have naturally from the fruit and the leaves of a tree, have a look with me here. You can see there, it kills cancer cells, slows down the tumour growth, kills bacteria, kills parasites, reduces blood pressure, lowers the heart rate, and it dilates blood vessels. It's a sedative, it sedates, it relieves depression, reduces spasms, kills viruses, reduces fever, expels worms, and stimulates digestion, and stops convulsions. And it does all that the same as the chemotherapy, and yet it gives you no side effects whatsoever, and it actually builds up your immune system, and your immune system takes over, kicks in, and heals your body for you. Now, when we want to compare the chemical synthetic drugs, let me read something to you because you mightn't be able to see it on your screen properly. It says that the adriamycin, it's a trade name for doxorubicin, or Rubex. That's another trade name for doxorubicin. And in some cases, healthcare professionals may use a trade name adriamycin. Now, this is used in your chemotherapy. Now, if you want to know what kind of drugs they are and what they are used for, you can see there on your screen, I hope you can see it. It's also referred to as a cytotoxic. Cytotoxic was referred to in the Ananaceous tree group, in the carcinogens that are in the fruit. So you'll see that the pharmaceutical companies here look as if they've copied or they've got something similar. It's a synthetic one. But there's one thing it doesn't do. It doesn't differentiate the difference between good cells and bad cells. And I'll show you here. Now here I'm going to share with you so that you get a crash course in understanding. This adriamycin, or these chemotherapy drugs, it tells you here how they work. Now, if I just come down here a little bit, it says, a little bit further down, there it is on your screen, it says, unfortunately, chemotherapy does not know the difference between the cancerous cells and the normal cells. And as I said before, it kills the immune system. Chemotherapy will kill all cells that are rapidly dividing. The normal cells will grow back and be healthy, but in the meantime, all of the side effects will occur. The normal cells most commonly affected by chemotherapy are the blood cells. Now let me show you some of the side effects that are caused because of this. Now here's some of the things that you don't have to put up with when you have the natural leaves and fruit from the Ananaceous tree. Now look here, it's on the screen there for you to see. This is what you'll suffer with: mouth sores, painful redness, swelling, ulcers, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, fast and irregular heartbeats, unusual bleeding or bruising, black and tarry stools, extreme fatigue, swelling of the ankles. And one more thing here, it'll tell you that there's a limit to what they can give you because it can cause heart attacks. Now there's a list of the chemicals that are used there. You can see them on your screen. Now here's something else you should know. The way they administer it to you, the way it's given to you, and you can see there on your screen, adriamycin, it is given through a vein by intravenous injection. It goes on to say that it can cause severe damage to tissue. I'll read it to you. A vesicant is a chemical that causes extensive tissue damage and blistering if it escapes from the vein. The nurse or doctor who gives the adriamycin or these chemotherapy drugs must be carefully trained, and if you notice redness or swelling at the IV site while you are receiving this chemotherapy, then alert your doctor immediately. That's one thing to remember. If you have this in the natural way with the fruit and the leaves and the bark from the trees, it doesn't have any effect on your tissue whatsoever. Now here's some examples of the biological activities and scientific research, clinical research, and it goes on to tell you that the National Cancer Institute, they found that the leaves and the stems and the bark, they showed active toxicity against cancer cells. And thus far, they say, specific carcinogens in the Graviola tree, they report that they are selectively toxic in vitro to these types of tumour cells, the cancers of lung carcinoma, human breast cancer, prostate adenocarcinoma, pancreatic carcinoma, colon cancer, liver cancer, human lymphoma cell lines, and against the multi-drug resistant human breast adenocarcinoma. Now the researchers found this out to be true way back in 2003, and they found that it was highly toxic to these cancers: ovarian, cervical, breast, bladder, and skin cancers, and by using a very low dosage. And the ananacin is a promising anti-cancer agent, and it's worthy of further studies. Now why hasn't that happened since 2003? I'll tell you why. Because the big pharmaceutical drug companies have wanted to suppress this information. They wanted to analyse the chemicals in the fruit, they wanted to make synthetic varieties of it, and then they wanted to patent it, and then they want to sell it to you and make a lot of money out of it. But you could have one of these trees growing in your backyard and you could always be healthy from cancer. Because you know why? It doesn't destroy the immune system, and the immune system cures you. Now there's the report in front of you on the screen. It says, cancer research is ongoing on these important anana plants and the chemicals, as several pharmaceutical companies and universities, they are continuing to research, test and patent and attempt to synthesize these chemicals into new chemotherapeutic drugs. In some places it's known as a guanabana, guanaba, and it's also known as a nanka blanda. These are just some of the native names given to this tree. It has actions that will kill cancer cells. It slows down tumour growth. It kills bacteria. It reduces blood parasites. It lowers the heart rate, dilutes blood vessels, and it sedates. It's a sedative. These are the natural attributes to this tree. And obviously too, it's one of the trees that the pharmaceuticals don't like because they can't patent the things that it does. And this is a natural way to get a healing, and it's very powerful. If you go into the internet and do a Google search on this, you're going to find literally 3,000 or 4,000 recipes on how to use this tree to kill parasites, for heart attacks, for neuralgia, for rheumatism, you name it. One of the most valuable natural herbage trees for the human body.